The following story may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Whisperwood Stories. Today we read a story from Nosleep by user HeadOfSpectre. Let's begin. Fresh peaches. The sign said, "Fresh peaches," and it sat beside a little produce stand on a dusty country road in Kentucky. I'd driven down this road hundreds of times, but I'd never seen this stand before. Not that that was a bad thing. There were plenty of farmers in the area, and plenty of them set up shop along this road to sell their produce. I was more than happy to support a local business, and I do love my peaches, so I figured I'd stop and shop. The old man behind the stand looked, well, weathered, to say the least. His skin sagged a bit, his beard was scruffy and unkempt, and his eyes looked sunken. But he still offered me a friendly smile as I got out of my car.
"Afternoon,"
he said. His voice was raspy, as if he'd been smoking a pack a day since birth.
"Can I interest you in some peaches?"
"You can," I replied, going up to take a look at what he had on offer. I gotta say, it all looked pretty good. The baskets he had laid out on his stand were full of fat, ripe peaches that looked especially juicy. "Where'd you get these from?" I asked, picking one up to take a look at it.
"Grew these all myself," he said. "Set myself up a handsome little plot of land and thought I'd have a go at it. These are my first harvest, actually."
"Damn, what are you growing these in?" I asked.
"Trade secret,"
he replied with a knowing grin.
"But I think my results will speak for themselves."
"Yeah, I guess they do," I replied. "How much?"
$5 a basket."
That was an easy sell. I paid him $5, picked out a basket of peaches, and capitalism prevailed once again.
"Thank you kindly,"
the old man said as he pocketed my money. "Yeah, thank you for the peaches," I replied. "You been out here for long?"
"Just set up shop a few days ago," he replied. "But if you want more, I'll be here."
"All right, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks again." I gave him a wave before taking my basket to the car and continuing on my way. All was well in the world. As I drove, I figured I'd give one of those peaches a try. I picked it up, took a bite, and realized that something was terribly wrong with this peach. It was juicy, all right, but the juice was sour and bitter. It filled my mouth and ran down my chin, and I almost ran myself off the road coughing and trying to spit it out. I pulled over, stumbled out of my car before coughing. That bitter taste still filled my mouth and my stomach heaved as I vomited all over the asphalt. What the hell was wrong with that peach? I headed back to my car and picked the peach off of the floor where it had fallen to take a closer look at it. The flesh was a pale grayish color, as opposed to the color a normal peach would be, and it stank. The smell of it almost made me vomit a second time. I grabbed one of the other peaches from the basket and tore it open to see if it was just as bad on the inside as the first one had been. It was, and the stink was just as bad. The peach didn't seem to have a pit either. It was just gross, gelatinous fruit all the way through. What the hell was this? I tossed the peach out onto the road and it splattered against the asphalt. And that was when I noticed them. Shapes writhing on the hot pavement. Long and thin, like horsehair worms. I stared at them in shock before looking at the splatter of vomit I'd left nearby. My stomach lurched as I saw those same worms writhing in the pool of puke. Oh God. What the hell was in these peaches? I tore open another one with trembling hands, and as I studied the innards, I could make out thin, pulsating lines inside the peaches. I poked at them with my keys and was able to pull them loose, and as I realized that they were the same worms I'd seen on the asphalt, I could feel myself growing dizzy. The entire damn batch was infested. The sight of that one living worm in the peach, twisting and writhing in anger after I'd pulled it free from its home, nearly made me pass out. This thing was long. I swear to God that it was almost a meter long. And I'd pulled this thing out of a peach. I almost wanted to start crying. I'd eaten one of those things. The worm twisted around my keys, and I could see the other worms in the peach starting to move as well. No, absolutely not. I hurled the peach aside, splattering it against the asphalt with the rest, before noticing that the worm I displaced with my keys was still clinging to them. Disgusting. I tried to shake it loose, tried to get it off without touching it, but the stubborn thing wouldn't get off. It kept trying to climb my keys. No, I wanted this stupid thing gone. I kept trying to shake it off my keys, but it wouldn't go. It was almost close enough to the point where I was considering just throwing my keys on the ground and hoping that would do it, when the thing lunged at me. It lunged, biting me between the knuckle of my ring and index finger, and this thing could bite. I started screaming as the white-hot pain coursed up my arm, although that pain was nothing compared to what happened next. It didn't hurt. Not like the bite had, but the sight of it starting to burrow into me, starting to slither into my body. Oh God. I started screaming. I tried clawing at it, tried pulling it free, but I couldn't get a grip on the worm. It just kept going inside my hand, inch by horrible inch, just kept going inside of me. No matter how much I screamed, no matter how much I cried, no matter how much I fought, it didn't stop. It didn't stop until there was nothing but a small, bleeding hole in my knuckles. And the knowing. There was no pain beyond the initial bite. I couldn't really even feel the worm inside of me, but I knew it was there. Oh God. I knew it was there. I got a knife from my car. A utility knife I keep for emergencies. I tried to cut it. Tried to remove it with the knife. All I did was mutilate my hand. I didn't get it. The worms on the asphalt were still writhing, still alive, still looking for meat. The peaches in the car sat still, their horrible secrets remaining hidden. I couldn't stop crying as the blood ran down my hand, and knowing that there was nothing else I could do, I finally caved and tried calling an ambulance. I couldn't drive. Not in my current state. Not with what I'd done to my hand trying to get that thing out of me. I've been in the hospital for 2 days now. The doctors here put me through scan after scan. They said they found the worm, but they can't remove it. It's deep in my guts now. Too deep to take out. And they know that it's either getting bigger or it's multiplying. Possibly both. They don't know what's going to happen to me. All they know is that they've never seen anything like this before. They sent the peaches I had left off to some lab for analysis, but I don't think they've heard back yet. I've also talked to the police, but they've said they didn't find any evidence of an old man selling peaches along that particular highway. I told them to look again, but something tells me they ain't gonna find him. I've got a feeling in my gut that my days are numbered now. I haven't told my family goodbye yet, but I hope I get the chance before I die. Thank you for listening to Whisperwood Stories. If you enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Do you have a story that you'd like me to read here? Consider commenting or sending it to whisperwoodsubmissions@gmail.com. The story in this video was read with the author's permission. Thank you again for listening, and be sure to check out the original Reddit post. Want to support me so I can go out and buy some peaches? Then check the link below where you can leave a tip if you wish. And remember, don't let the shadows get too close.